Hello, and welcome to the online instruction clip on how to prepare and participate in the pre-selection meeting for postdoctoral fellowships. At this stage of the review and selection procedure, you have progressed through most stages preceding the pre-selection meeting. That is, you have submitted your conflicts of interest and confidence levels, you have written and submitted internal evaluation reports, and finally, you have drafted and submitted synthesis reports of the applications you are responsible for in the role of rapporteur. The next stage of the review process entails participating in the pre-selection meeting and adequately preparing this meeting. The goal of the pre-selection meeting is to select the candidates that will later be interviewed by the panel for the final fellowship. The panel may interview twice as many candidates as it has fellowships available. The FWO will let you know how many interview spots are available in your panel. Candidates selected for interview, in principle, have a 50% probability of receiving the fellowship. For candidates not selected for interview, the review and selection process ends. They will receive feedback from the panel, but no further evaluation of their application will take place beyond the pre-selection. The panel thus makes important decisions regarding the selection of candidates in this online meeting. It is therefore important that the meeting is prepared well by all participants. To help you prepare the meeting, FWO will send you an email in the days leading up to the pre-selection meeting with crucial information. All documents needed for the pre-selection, including the application files and the internal, external and synthesis reports of all the candidates, will be available in your e-portal. Attached to the email is an Excel file with all scores of the evaluators, as well as a provisional ranking of the candidates based on the rapporteur's scores. In preparation of the pre-selection meeting, we expect you to have read through all relevant documents, including the applications, the reviews and the synthesis reports for all applications for which you were appointed as rapporteur or internal reviewer. Please familiarize yourself with all applications in order to participate in the panel discussions and in the ranking of the candidates. In the email or the overview Excel file, the chairs will also indicate which applications they think should certainly be discussed during the pre-selection meeting. This will typically be the applications near the cutoff zone of the ranking and the applications with large variations in scores. Should there be a particular issue to discuss, such as a potential out-of-scope evaluation of an application, this will also be raised in advance by the chairs. Please remember that out-of-scope evaluations are extremely rare and have significant consequences, as they imply that the evaluation is ceased and the candidate is no longer considered for funding by your panel or any other. Out-of-scope decisions may therefore only be taken by the panel in full consensus during the pre-selection meeting. At the interview meeting, an out-of-scope evaluation is no longer possible. Should you think an application you have reviewed might be out of scope of your panel, please take this up with the chairs of your panel in advance of the pre-selection meeting. The ultimate goal of the pre-selection meeting is thus to come up with a ranking of the candidates to determine who is selected for interview. The discussion will start from a provisional ranking. This provisional ranking is based on the scores that are provided by the rapporteurs who have carefully considered the 4 reviews to come up with this score. As mentioned in one of our earlier videos, the rapporteur score should be in line with the score grid and does not necessarily have to reflect the average scores of the reviewers. The preliminary ranking will form the basis of the discussion during the pre-selection meeting. Discussions will focus on candidates around the cutoff or applications with large variations in scores. After each discussion, the score of the application may be adjusted to reflect the panel's final decision. Special attention needs to be paid to ex aequos near the cutoff, which are not allowed at the end of the panel meeting, and to reaching a full consensus on the scores and the ranking among all panel members. Please keep in mind that scores for candidates not selected for interview are final and will be communicated to the applicant as part of the feedback. Candidates who are selected for interview will receive new scores, certainly for the criterion candidate, after the interview meeting. Please keep the following principles in mind to let the pre-selection meeting run smoothly. First, keep your inventions to the point and only provide arguments that could lead to changing the panel's score. We are in an online setting and are trying to be as effective and efficient as possible. Second, focus on arguments diverging from the others. Please do not repeat what has already been said. Third, keep the score grid in mind to stay as consistent as possible during the evaluations. And finally, fourth, consider each other's perspective and respect potential diverging views within the panel. Last but not least, please remember that after the pre-selection meeting, you will be expected to write feedback reports for the applicants not selected for interview for whom you are rapporteur. Your feedback report should reflect the panel's final evaluation of the application, not necessarily your personal opinion, and should be written in name of the full panel. We advise you to make notes during the discussion of the applications for which you are rapporteur. The feedback report may also contain any relevant comments from the review reports which are not sent to the applicant. The feedback report will be provided to the candidates at the end of the evaluation procedure. From the feedback, candidates should learn the strengths, weaknesses, conclusions, and suggestions for improvement for their proposal. The feedback report should help candidates to understand why they were not selected for funding and indicate how to improve the application for a potential resubmission in the future. You should not yet write final feedback reports for candidates selected for interview, as the evaluation procedure has not yet been finalized. If you wish, you may of course make notes on what has been said about these applications during the pre-selection, as this may be helpful to you during the interview with the candidates. For the pre-selection meeting, we expect you to be online on the specific date mentioned in our communication for a 2 to 3 hour meeting via the life-size video meeting software. This concludes this video on the pre-selection meeting. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact your account administrator. Thank you for your attention and goodbye.